Education in the United States has a problem. It's a broken system. We rank 19th in developing countries when it comes to the level of our education. However, we still seem to create the most Nobel Prize winners in the world. How is our education system failing the majority of our students? Presidents and politicians have given speech after speech after speech with their solution to fix the problem. Public and private sectors have spent millions in trying to solve the problem themselves. However, we are still ranked 19th in the world. So, what could the solution be? So I would like to propose my own idea. What about using video games to solve this country's education problem? Over 38% of households today have their own video game console of some sort in the home. That statistic does not relate to just the male population. Only 56% of video gamers are males. The other 44% are female gamers. The average young person by age of 21 spends an average of 9,976 hours in school, and that's only with perfect attendance. You compare that to the amount of time playing video games, and it can reach up to 10,000 hours. That's over 24 more hours of video game play compared to their time in school. So let me paint a world for you where we can fuse video games and education to create something new, something powerful, where students can become the best versions of themselves. The system I'm talking about would work on all modalities. However, for this project, I will be focusing on just the tablet. Let me introduce you to a situation where this system could be used. A teacher is standing in the front of the classroom and wants to ask a question of the class, so he sends the question via the system to each and every student's tablet. The students' tablets begin to vibrate as they begin to receive the question from the teacher. Johnny is able to receive the question on his tablet and opens it up and begins to read it. He knows the answer and is able to submit it quickly. The rest of the class needs a little longer to answer the question. The time it takes the students to answer the question is monitored and presented on the front board. The final students submit their answers. Once all the answers are submitted, Johnny is awarded an achievement for being the first one to submit the answer correctly. The extra points are then awarded to Johnny via his avatar. The teacher is able to then present a breakdown of the correct answer on the board with a percentage of the students who got the answer correct. So who is Johnny? Well, he's an average kid who is okay with going to school but gets bored with it. He doesn't want to have to conform to their style of teaching. He wants to be able to learn on his own terms. This is the home page, a collection of the avatar, a breakdown of your entire educational history. I'll cover that more in a moment. Each page is equipped with breadcrumbs so the user is able to know where they are at all times. Each user is able to customize the home page based on the elements that they use the most often. The tablet was designed with a pop-out navigation. I mentioned earlier about the educational history. Students can use this to help reevaluate any past tests, projects, or questions that were answered during class to help study for future tests. This system isn't only useful for students, teachers can also use it to evaluate students coming into their classroom, and administrators can use it to evaluate the overall effectiveness of the teacher with actual data. Every student has access to a live recording of the class, which they can watch during the class or rewatch the class later if they need a refresher. The initial design of the homepage used a navigation at the top, but after initial user testing, this was determined to be a design flaw. The navigation was redesigned with a pop-out navigation. This was done to help increase the amount of real estate available for the design of the application. Also, the initial avatar page was designed to mimic a traditional massive multi-online player game avatar page, but avid gamers were the only ones able to understand the system. The avatar page was redesigned and simplified with only two elements: avatar and your overall stats. This is only a small introduction to my system. The rest of the information can be found in the report submitted alongside this project. And I hope we can take the passion that people get from playing video games and bring it to the educational system in America.